Today we're going to talk about the difference between balance and finding center. Most people who have experienced anything fairly extreme or real in their life understand that life is about this concept called balance. But balance is a very theoretical thing because balance works in the world of physics, and mathematically, yes, we can find that if you put the exact same thing on two different sides of a particular scale, it'll lead to balance. The problem is that if the scale isn't built to handle the total mass of both things on the balance, the scale might be balanced, but it won't be able to hold under pressure. So more importantly than finding balance in the world, which would imply that we can take on opposite extremes, and as long as we keep adding to the extremes, the balance will create peace. But what the balance will create is an insurmountable pressure on the center that will destroy everything. So more importantly than finding balance, balance is meant to help us find center. Center meaning our own place from which we can not control but manage the stresses. I heard from Dr. Baptiste. He explained that his equation for life is our resilience divided by our stresses. So it's not enough to keep adding to our stresses, even if they're balanced, if we don't have enough resilience. In other words, our core center isn't strong enough to handle all those things, our equation won't work. So more importantly than balance, we have to find center. And center means after experiencing testing limits. Children are educated truly, no matter where they are in the world, by testing their limits and being taught what are firm boundaries. And they'll always, and as a human being, we're basically always just children growing, trying to learn the next new experience. And we have to learn that after testing our limits, and we find within those limits what's our center, what's our balance. So the purpose of testing limits isn't to seeing how far we can go before we die, but it's knowing what's our safe limits. So within those safe limits, to all the different extremes, we know what's our zone. Our zone is our center. Once we can find that center, then we know when we need to be alone, when we need to be part of community, when we need to give, when we need to take. But it's never taking things to the extreme. All extremes are good to grow, the extremes are good to learn, but our purpose is to find a homeostasis, a type of balance. When we get to that extreme, that within our zone, we keep our balance, not beyond the extreme, but within our zone, we keep the balance so we have everything we need when we need it. Because yes, there's cycles and there's seasons and we have ups and downs. But as long as we have what we need within our zone, then our balance will always be our center. And for more information on that, tune into the next class. I'm hoping and wishing for everyone that we should be able to get to true peace. True peace comes from forgiveness, compassion, hope, and trust, meaning that to get to peace, we have to have trust, and to get to trust, we have to have forgiveness, and to even believe in true forgiveness, we have to have compassion. And the only reason why we do this is if we had hope. So I'm wishing for everyone to find that hope, because if we're alive today, it means we survived whatever we didn't think we'd survive until today. And we shouldn't go on with survivor's guilt. We have to have survival. In other words, as survivors, we have to see that as a gift and as an opportunity. And taking that opportunity, that should be the hope. And with that hope, we have to find compassion. And with that compassion, we have to find forgiveness. And with that forgiveness, we can hopefully find new trust. And with that trust, we can create peace. First within ourselves and with the people around us. And hopefully that zone can spread so that everyone's center becomes the balance that the whole world can create if we just realize that we're all in the same boat here. So I wish everyone to find their center, their balance, and their peace. Sabbatical salutations.